name is Jasmine. I'm in 11th grade. My question to you guys would be, how do you feel about people who would join a HBCU sorority or fraternity without actually looking for the history, who are not African American, but more so for the trend? Because like on TikTok and Instagram, you see it a lot, people flexing their AKAs or deltas, and they don't really know the history, and they're not really looking for it, they're just doing it to show off.
I wanted to answer that question. So I did mention I'm an HBCU mom, and my daughter graduated from North Carolina A&T a year ago. She struggled with that, because she's been around the Black and brown excellence, right? I identify as Afro-Latina, so for her, it was always seeing that example of Alpha Kappa Alpha women, Delta Sigma Theta women, Zeta Phi Beta women, Sigma Gamma Rho women. She's seen all of it. So she went to make the choice, and it was very hard for her to see women make choices based on TikTok, based on the popularity of what was going on campus. You control what you do. You look at the history. You make the choice. You make the decision for yourself, and that's what she did. She made that decision for herself. She chose not to follow a trend, but to follow what was in her heart and what was in her mind.
Yes, and I would also like to piggyback on that too. To simply answer that question, I would say do not, right? Do not just follow that trend, because everyone's experience is different. Every organization is unique, and everyone's personality, you have to do your research. Okay, do not just do it. Now, I like TikTok and Instagram like the next person. I did that. Of course, I'm an AKA challenge. I did that too, right? But I'm living this thing. I'm active. I'm doing what needs to be done in order to push my organization forward. All right, I only want to add to an organization, never deplete it. When you put all these letters, you are a walking statement. All right, you are literally representing your organization, and it should be to the finest. So don't do it based on the trend. Don't do it based on who you see. Even though our vice president is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, right? But you don't want to just make that decision because you want to be close to Kamala Harris, right? So yeah.
One of the things that we have to remember is that part of the responsibility of our organizations is to make sure that we properly vet who becomes a member. So you can say you want to be a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, Delta Sigma Theta, Zeta Phi Beta, or Sigma Gamma Rho, but you just don't walk in a room and then you're a member. So part of our responsibility is to make sure that the people who come and that they understand, so we need to share the history as well, and that they understand what they're signing themselves up for, and then we decide who becomes a member of our organizations. It's not open to you just because you say you want to do it. There are certain standards that we all have that you have to meet. So I think that's part of the thing. So you can be a trend, and we're trying to make sure that while you might be young, that as you mature, you understand that you're making a lifelong commitment, a commitment to service, and whether you are active or not, if you are representing us, you need to do it well and live in the excellence that we live in.
And then we just need to have one person answer each question. I'm sorry for the time.
My name is Amari. I'm in the 11th grade, and I wanted to ask, what influenced your choice in choosing the sorority or fraternity that you're in?
So for me, I joined Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated because when I went to my college, I observed what each organization was doing, what they were about, whether they were active in the community, whether they were actually participating in class and doing their work. And for me, it was Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Our aims are manly deeds, scholarship, and love for all mankind, and that pretty much encompassed everything I wanted to do at the time and throughout my life. So manly deeds, making sure your peers and the community is okay. Scholarship, obviously, that's making sure you're doing your schoolwork, right? And love for all mankind is also ensuring that you're giving back to the world in some way. So that's what influenced me.
Thank you. Next question.
My name is Jaden, and I'm in 11th grade. The question I want to ask is, what makes your sorority or fraternity different from others? Like, what makes yours more unique than others, or like different?
I would say that out of all of my other D9 brothers and sisters, they were all founded on HBCU campuses. We were founded in Butler University, that's a predominantly white campus, and we were in the midst of the Ku Klux Klan, which makes Black History Month even 2 times over important to us.
Hello, my name is Marley, and I'm in the 11th grade. I just wanted to ask, how long does it take to join a fraternity or sorority, and how is that experience?
I can answer that question. It can take anywhere from a year to join, to 10 years, to 15 years, to 20 years. Many of, what happens is right now we have put a seed inside of you, and some of you will become members of these organizations when you go to college. So this is your year 1, right? You want it to come right now. And then some of them say they were not able to become members of these organizations when they went to a 4-year school because maybe we might not be on your campus. So we encourage you to wait, because if you want something, we are all worth waiting for. We are worth waiting for. So if it does not happen within the 4 years, then you can join us at the graduate level. We are in every state. We are in every county. We are in the Caribbean. We are in Europe. We are in the continent of Africa. We are everywhere. And so many of us personally may have taken 12 weeks to become a member once you fill out the paperwork. Once we check your average. Once we do a background check on you, right? And I must say, the drug test will come next, even in your regular general employment. So we are worth the wait. So if you want something, go for it. Again, it could take 12 weeks, it could take 1 year. Always express your interest when you meet any of us and let us know how you're doing it. And I do want to say, I went to school in upstate New York at Syracuse University, and that's a predominantly white organization. And so again, we found our way to grab the Black students, the Latino students, and we all were very much together. So wherever you go, find your people. Okay.
That was great. That was great.
How you doing? My name is Jade. I'm in 11th grade. I wanted to ask, has it been a time where like you didn't want to like be in a sorority or a fraternity, but you just like looked at the right time?
I loved her answer when she said, you know, you join when you're ready in your time. I was influenced. My reason for joining was when I was 15 years old, I was on a step team, and my soror here was on the step team too. We were captains of it, and the person who created the step team was an AKA. And so I just love the sisterhood that she created, and us as high schoolers, it's just, life took me in another direction. I ended up going to the military, starting a family. I didn't go to college like right away. And so in my mind, that seed was planted at your age or younger. And so I waited 15 years pretty much to cross. So sometimes, you know, the way your life goes and the opportunities you have, I knew I wanted to join and become an AKA. There was nothing else for me. So I had to wait for my time. And if you're joining undergrad, I guess like it's a little bit easier because usually there's more opportunities, but if you're joining grad, you have to wait for those opportunities, and sometimes they can take a long time in a grad chapter. So for me, it's you have to wait for your moment, your time. Your time is your time, your process is your process, and that's pretty much it.
My name is Jadelle, and I'm in 11th grade. My question is, what is the significance of the different chants that you guys have, and like, what do they mean to some extent? Because, for example, a couple months ago, we went on a HBCU college tour, and there's this song by this artist, and it's called Ski. And we were walking, and we were singing the song, and Ms. Boyd stopped us, and she was like,
that's disrespectful. So I just wanted to ask.
I can talk about the ski week. So that was started as a way to kind of like you say, you're right, and you all look up, right? It's a way to acknowledge your sister. That's how it was started on the campus. So you would hear someone say, ski week, and then they would know that their sister was trying to get them across the campus. That was the history of the ski. But that's a different song. I know they're saying ski, and there's a very different connotation to the ski. I'm not sure if you know what that is. We're not going to talk about it today, but there's a very different connotation to ski versus ski week.
My name is Olivia, and I'm a junior, and I wanted to ask if different incorporations are created, can they be added to the Divine Nine? And if not, why not?
So when I became a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority in 1991, it was the Great Eight. So they decided at some point, and I don't remember the year, to add one more, and that was Iota Phi Theta, who unfortunately is not here today. But so it is a process to become a part of the National Panhellenic Council. There are other Black fraternities and sororities that are not members. So I don't know the exact criteria, but the governing body would decide whether or not another organization can join. And one of the things would be that there are a lot of these other Black fraternities and sororities that are really local to their space. And while we are all international organizations, so some are just in their region and some might cross a couple of states. So it is possible. It's not highly likely that anything will be happening anytime soon. It is a process.
I just want to say, Mr. Catino, for most of you that know him, is a part of a fraternity. It's not a part of the Divine Nine officially, but he was on the panel last year. We welcomed him with open arms. So if someone else from any type of fraternity wanted to be up here, it's not like, oh, we're Divine Nine. If they, are African American, Black fraternity sorority, because that's what we're highlighting, they would have been welcome just like last year. I just want to make that point.
My name is Tania. I'm in 11th grade, and I know you guys have to make yearly payments. So what do the payments exactly go to? And does it go to community service? And what does a community service consist of?
So we do pay annual dues, and those dues go to on our national level. A portion of those dues go to national, a portion of those dues go to the region, right? And each organization has they have their own naming convention for what those regions are. And then you have your actual chapter that you're in. The dues go to that, right? So the dues at a chapter level really help sustain the chapter, right? Those are things that are operating dollars to keep your chapter going. And then throughout the year, each organization does fundraisers to raise money for scholarships that are given out to students like you who are on their way to college or already in college. So everybody's amounts are different, but those are sort of the breakdown. National, regional, and local is where your dues go to.
Hi, my name is Kaya. I'm in 12th grade.
Say it louder. You are where?
Hi, my name is Kaya. I am in 12th grade, and this question is for my AKA ladies. Ms. Boyd, feel free to put in your input. As an AKA, what is the hardest challenge that you had to overcome in the process of pledging or becoming an AKA?
So it is going through the process. You are unlearning everything you know about yourself, about the world, about society, and you are growing as one in sisterhood, in unity. So I think that the biggest thing was enlightening myself as an individual to really learn, to be empowered. But I just questioned so many things, I think, through the process, just about myself and just upbringing and my true identity. But I did see a hand down there as well.
I just wanted to say, so actually during my process, so I was initiated in fall 17. I was involved in a near-fatal motorcycle accident in July 4th, 2017. So I actually was initiated right after my motorcycle accident. So here I was with a whole new life, whole new way of living, rolling around rather than, I always had dreams of strolling around with my sorors on 2 feet, right? But now I'm strolling around on 2 wheels, right? So it was definitely a process. I had to do a lot of learning, unlearning, relearning, and making sure that I felt comfortable enough to even go through the process. There was a moment of doubt, but even before I was a member, the women of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated rallied around me. They encouraged me when I was weak. They kept me strong. They told me that there is nothing that I can't do, and here I am now, standing in front of you.
Ms. Boyd, the young lady had another question about community service. I just wanted to answer her question very quickly. You see us doing community service right now, talking to you, but each of our organizations also have national programs that we follow. Some of those things might include going to speak to the kids in school, scholarship programs that we provide, food banks, going to provide mental health, like she said, going into March of Dimes. Some organizations, we might do planting trees, anything that you can think of, we have our hand in it. So it's not just limited to one thing. We've done multifaceted programs when it comes to community service.